On this episode, we talk about our recent stay at the Polynesian Resort and the wonderful pixie dust that came our way and how our trip ended over at Wilderness Lodge. This is episode 74 of Salute to the Ears. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Salute to the Ears. I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Erica.
And boy, do we have a story to tell you.
Okay, we teased it in the last episode, and I know we are a little delayed on getting another episode out to you guys and being able to fill you in on all the resort information from our trip down to Walt Disney World for my 40th birthday. But it's been cray-cray. I know we say this all the time, but like life with two teenagers, especially with one who's a senior and kids who are in sports.
Right. It's been insane.
We barely have had time to breathe, let alone record. So we had a few minutes tonight, and we were like, we have to talk about this.
Right. Because we had something happen that you might hear about happening, but you don't actually believe it unless it happens to you or somebody you know.
Yeah. I teased it in the last episode that like we got Pixie bombed. We didn't just get Pixie dusted. And I still don't know if it had to do with the fact that we had noted in a reservation that it was for my 40th birthday, if it had to do with just availability, if some cast member pulled magic somewhere behind the scenes at some point, if it had to do with just the 2 nights that we were there. Like,
yeah, I think it probably has most to do with the fact that it was a really short stay.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go ahead and I guess we should probably tell everybody what we're talking about. So we were scheduled to stay at Poly for 2 nights in a DVC studio.
Yes.
We had a friend who is very nice and rented us some points, and we were going to finally get to stay at Polynesian, which had been on our bucket list.
Oh, yeah. Which, I mean, we're going to talk about how incredible that resort is just in general, how nice it is to stay there. Yeah. But
no, it was getting us as soon as we were walking in off the bus, and the nice little
like I didn't even want to go inside. It's so pretty even outside.
Peaceful little waterfall area, if I can speak, and getting some good pictures of it, and just it was very peaceful, and it's a good way to walk into the resort. And but we walk in and we of course check in the lobby because I mean it's the first thing you do, and we had to go check in because we weren't able to.
It was only like 1:30. It wasn't even 2:00 yet, and so check-in's typically not until 3, and so we weren't necessarily expecting that our room was going to be ready, but we had the notation in our app of like basically that we were probably going to have to stop by guest services to get checked in.
Right, which we're used to before because it happens a lot with our military stuff.
Yeah.
Of like they need to see our ID and do that kind of stuff. But we thought maybe we would just be lucky enough using the DVC points to just check in. But we get there and we're like, okay, let's go ahead and check in. And didn't have to wait in line or anything, which was nice. You would have walked right up, and they go to start checking us in, and the guy asked us our name, asked me my name, asked for the ID, and so he could verify it, and then said, "Well, okay, Mr. Simon, we have you staying in the bungalow for 2 nights."
And we both, like a movie, looked at each other, looked at him, and we're like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Because thanks to our research for the podcast and our, the way that we follow other vloggers and podcasters and just Disney adults on social media and things, we were like, we know what that is.
Right.
We know what you were talking about.
Right. Like a lot of people, we have a list of like bucket room, like win the lottery type places.
This is definitely high on them
that we want to stay in at Disney, and this was high on our list.
And we questioned him, like, are you sure? Are that's not like, so my first thought was like, oh my gosh, what did Kelly do with like, like our friend that we rented our points from, like somebody did this. Like we're texting her, we're texting, like our parents, like trying to find out if somebody like called and upgraded us somewhere. Like,
Right.
because this is an expensive room, you guys. Like this is not, it's not even a room. It is
Right.
an apartment.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
let's be
like
real.
we were both saying like we could live in this. Like once the kids are gone, like
Oh, 100%.
we could live in there and just be fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
It was its own little building, its own little apartment. So we we trekked out to the bungalows, which if you look on the map, there's kind of two sections of them along
right.
out on the water
Right.
outside the Polynesian. Um, we checked our luggage. No, we took our luggage
We
straight
took
with
our
us.
we were wheeling our luggage down there with us.
We wheeled our luggage down there. We probably would have stayed and hung out in the lobby longer if we were just going to a regular room. We probably would have like took more stuff in, just like gotten some Dole Whip, like whatever, instead of going all the way to the room first. There's like two sections of bungalows, and the poor guy couldn't remember which order they were numbered in. So he was like, it's either this one or it's this, like it's either this end or this end. And not only do you have to scan in to even get out onto the decking to like even walk to yours, they are sectioned off into different, like there'll be like a group of 8 that you have to get through one set of decking to like. Now what was interesting though to me is that we could get through on those scanners to all of the bungalow sections, not just our section. So that was kind of interesting to me. But they are out over on the water.
Right, like sitting on top of the water. Like
these are 2 ends. Are there also 3-bedroom ones? No. Just the 2-bedroom?
Right.
There's the 2 bedrooms plus 2 pull-down beds in the living room. They're apartments. Like I don't know how else to describe it, but it is its own little house. It's its own little place for you to live.
On the lagoon.
On the lagoon, yes.
Which we ended up being on the far end.
Yeah, we were almost to ticket and transportation.
Right, which means you hear the horns a lot.
Yeah, it got to the point though where I didn't
hardly notice it. Yeah, no. But when you don't quite know how to get to your room and you're hauling the luggage across the dock, and you hear the thumpity 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 with the luggage. And it's hot. Like
it's hot,
you're just trying to get to your
you're
room.
Like trying to fight a migraine after travel and hangry and
still in disbelief.
Still in utter disbelief.
I didn't believe this was actually our room until like
our magic bands worked. One thing I will say is if this is something that like you are going with either a larger family or multi-generational, and it's like grandparents, 2 adults, 2 kids, kind of 2-3 kids kind of situation, and you are like, you can swing this 100%, do it if you can swing this room, because it is absolutely incredible.
Now you need to understand that this room, depending on the time of the year you're going, is somewhere in between like $2,000 and $4,000
hey,
a night.
I said if you can swing it.
Yeah.
I understand that majority of our listeners do not fall into that category.
I just wanted to be pretty clear on that. So
I do think that there are enough people who like, there are enough times, especially during off-peak weeks, which we were there during an off-peak week. There are enough times when those probably don't get rented out. That it works out to just be like, hey, for 1 or 2 nights, like we're going to upgrade you. This is one of the benefits of split stays is that you get, when you only have a couple of nights someplace, you probably are more likely to get upgraded. Because they want to just fill that space and entice you to come back and stay longer. So we walked in.
They did a really good job.
They did a really good job of enticing us. So we walked in, we walked up to the door, and I had Jeremy go in first so that he could get my reaction on camera, because obviously this is my 40th birthday trip. So I wanted my reaction to that. So we were both recording, and which was kind of comical, but the way that these are set up is essentially you have a long center hallway, and the
Mm-hmm.
back part of the bungalow is your kitchen. It is a full kitchen.
Right.
You have a
Long.
stove. You have a
Yeah.
long table. You have a stove. You have a dishwasher. You have a refrigerator.
Like full size.
Yeah.
Refrigerator with freezer, everything.
Yeah. Super, super nice.
Pots,
And
pans, dishes.
yeah.
Everything.
Living room and kitchen are open on the back. And then on one side of it, depending on which bungalow you're in, and it flips, but like on ours, when you walk down the hallway, on the left was kind of the second bedroom that had a queen and a pull down twin.
Right.
You had the split bathroom that has one has a sink and toilet, one has a sink and shower.
Right.
So that you can have those split, multiple people getting ready. And then you also have a closet and a laundry room.
Right. With a full size washer and dryer.
Yeah.
Stackable.
Yeah. Then on the right side for us was the master suite, which is a king size bed with a walkout onto the deck, onto like the side part of the deck, and a full bathroom.
And this full bathroom has like a jacuzzi tub.
Yeah.
Like a nice jacuzzi tub, not like
bubbles. It's not like jacuzzi like jets. It's like bubbles.
It's bubbles, yeah, but
it's kid safe. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but forceful bubbles.
Yeah,
and,
you can control them, though.
Right, you can. And a large walk-in shower with a large rain shower head.
I'm gonna share some other clips. I'm gonna really try. Like I keep saying I'm gonna share stuff, and y'all, when I say we have been busy, like I'm not kidding. But I love the tile in this bathroom. Like, don't be surprised when I come home from Home Depot one day and I'm like, babe, we're redoing the shower. I found the tile.
So we're gonna have a Grandestino tower shower at this point, and now a poly shower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it. I mean, it's just so.
That shower was fantastic.
It was so pretty. It's like the prettiest blue-green, not subway, like it's like the longer rectangle, like not subway tiles, but like, I don't know, just.
And so I don't always like the like rainfall shower heads because sometimes there's not enough, but yeah, that was nice. Yeah. It was nice. I liked it.
This was not bad at all. You have the TV in the.
Yeah, we are fancy. We had a TV in our mirror.
In the mirror. Which was kind of fun, like getting ready to at least have the stuff of like, hey, here's what's, park hours and the weather and like just the music playing, like while you're getting ready. One con that I had about our master bathroom, and I don't know if this is like I just couldn't figure out how to fix this. Mm-hmm. All of the lights within there are all like on a keypad, so there's some buttons associated with it too. But it's like electronic lights rather than everything's like adjustable, and it was really nice. It was very fancy. Right. I hated the lighting in the bathroom as far as like trying to get ready. Yeah. So ladies, if you are trying to get ready and like do makeup and all of that, the natural lighting in the bathroom is, even though there's windows in there, is like womp womp womp. Right. Was it any better in the other room? Was it better in the other bathroom? It was better as far as like kind of more like bathroom lighting, but then you had no natural light because there were no windows. Okay. So you're almost better off having a little mirror with you, or doing it like doing your makeup or something in the bedroom where you've got more natural light coming in.
The other fancy part was you could control the lights for the bathroom next to the bed.
Yes. Well, some of them.
Some of them, but still.
There was a night light feature, which was really, really nice to have. Yeah. There were lots of light options in each of the rooms. So it wasn't just like, oh, flip this one on and it's like super bright in your face. You had a lot of control over how bright a room was going to be. That was so nice. I was shocked that we had 2 pull-down beds in the living room. Yeah.
So you had a pull-down full, and then just a pull-down like their single or twin or whatever. Yeah. So you could sleep 3 out in the living room. You could sleep 3 in the other bedroom. Yes. And then 2 in the master. Yeah. So 8 total.
2 in the master, and if you had a little, you could still even put a a pack and play in
Oh
there.
yeah, no,
There was still
that room
tons
was
of room.
big. That room was big.
There was still tons of space to be able to
Right.
put a pack and play or something in there if you needed to.
Right.
It was the like it's so weird because we ended up like finding like these little like nitpicky things that we were like, oh, bummer. So last year when we stayed in and we did our split stay between Animal Kingdom and Wilderness, we had steamers in
Oh
the room.
yeah.
They were so nice. So instead of an iron, you could request an iron, but they had steamers. And this bungalow only had the iron and ironing board. And I was shocked.
Right.
Like, I really was. Like, I was not expecting to have that. I was
Right.
expecting the steamer with the option for the ironing board rather than the other way around. And I guess, I don't know if it's just because there was more space in there, so you could still just have that.
Yeah.
But we even called housekeeping to see if they had them, like, in the other rooms, other like just regular deluxe rooms, so that we could get one, and they didn't even have them.
Right.
So
like we're surprised that we were even like
asking. But like it's so funny because this room is so beautiful and so grand, and this bungalow is so amazing, but there were like small things where we were like, there are cons.
Right.
There are things that are different than other deluxe resorts,
and that's like we like using an iron, no big deal. Like whatever.
Yeah, we were fine.
Not like
we made it work.
Whatever, not a big deal. There were definitely way more pros than cons.
Oh, 100%. But that's what I mean. Like the things that are cons, they're like nitpicky things.
Right.
They're not like, there's only one major con that I had, and that was the walk.
Yeah, that was
which is can be a con at several resorts for several different.
It could still be a con at that resort, and we would still been staying in a studio room. Right. So
that doesn't necessarily really change. It's just happens to be one that like
it was, if I would have been paying rack rate for that room, I would have been like, ugh, like on the distance, like why couldn't I have been on the closer one? But yeah, well, we got bumped up, so
yeah, we were not complaining.
Not complaining.
What did you think when we walked out onto the deck?
I think I went to my nothing box for a little bit because I was pretty well shocked. View is phenomenal, like amazing. Like I don't know if there's anywhere else, maybe somewhere over in like the Grand Floridian, where you can see 3 ferry boats, like big ferry boats going, the monorail, friendship boats, all going at the same time.
And have a view of Space Mountain, Tron, and a view of the castle.
It was awesome.
So we had a pretty direct line view to Space Mountain with Tron right behind it. Kind of behind off to the side. Like you could see the colors changing on Tron. Like as, absolutely. I mean, yeah. Even as like the way that it changes as a car goes through, like the train. What do you call that?
Their train, like
is it a train?
I don't. That's what I'd call a motorcycle train.
Yeah,
whatever.
The light cycles.
There you go. Woo, it's in the name.
Y'all, the whole thing. Like, I mean, you can see. It's like you can see that, and then the lights on it, and it's hard because what we could see. I mean, you guys know this. You look at it on my camera on my phone. Yeah. It doesn't. It looks like it's like really far away.
It really wasn't. It really
not
wasn't.
At all. And you really could only see like the top half of Cinderella's castle. You couldn't see all of it.
You could see enough of it.
But yeah, I mean when I say top half, I mean like half.
Right.
Not just like the tip of the tallest, spire or something.
Yeah.
But there's a pool.
Yeah, there was.
On the deck.
Not like
of each bungalow.
Not like huge pool. This is like a wading pool. Think of like a deeper kiddie pool.
At like a community pool, yeah.
Right. For adults. Like you're not going to be, your kids aren't going to be jumping into it.
No.
Like, it is to like sit in and cool off.
It essentially looks like a hot tub.
It looks like a hot tub.
It looks like a little square hot tub. It doesn't look like a pool, but it is pool temperature.
Right.
It's still heated just like all the main pools are on Disney resorts. So, I mean, it's not like cold or anything like that. But boy, does it feel good when your feet hurt at the end of the night.
It does, to go in there and soak.
Oh, yes.
And also, there's a knob sticking out there on the outside of the bungalow. Don't go over there and twist it going, what does this do? Because it goes to the outdoor shower. And I did that. Well, what does this go to?
I forgot about that.
And the water turned on, and it about got me.
Oh, I forgot
Luckily,
about
I
that.
have reflexes like a cat. And
because were you already dressed up at that point? Yeah, you were already dressed. Like that was.
And I turned it on. I was like, "What's this?" And just happened to hear that noise and kind of jumped out of the way and looked up like, "Oh, there's a shower outside."
Yeah, so there is a shower on the deck. There is the gated off pool area, and you do have the latch at the top of the gate, so the kids aren't getting in and out of it. It also has speakers on the deck.
It does.
And it has there's a knob for this, where you can, so during the day it's like the music of the resort.
Right.
It's like the Polynesian music, really, really pretty, still awesome, in the morning to listen to. When the fireworks are going off, it plays the music.
Yeah.
For Happily Ever After.
In sync perfectly. Yes.
Is perfectly timed to all of the stuff, the show that is happening across the lagoon. I thought that there was I thought I cried when we watched them from inside Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's what I will say. Watching them from out there, you don't see the projections.
No. It's more the fireworks show.
Right. Seeing the fireworks out there, I liked watching if I'm just going to go watch the fireworks, I liked watching the fireworks out there in that view better than being like
behind the castle.
Behind the castle or up close to the castle. Because you don't get to necessarily take in.
I feel like you got more of the show aspect of it.
You did. You can see the wide, how big of a show that it is. You're not just focused on the castle and missing everything that's going off to the side.
Well, and I noticed some of the fireworks too that were specific and had they were shaped or they had specific colors that were associated with that part of the show way more than I ever have.
Right.
And I know some of that is depending on where you're standing, some of those fireworks are obscured from your view when you're inside the park.
Yeah.
And so you really see just about all of them. And you still get to see the ones that spray up around the castle. I mean, you can still see that happening as well. And you can still see some of the projections. The ones that are up on top, I could still see some of them.
I could see colors. I couldn't necessarily make out anything.
Oh, I could see some of them. We probably should have had you put your glasses on. Oh, no, you left him in the car, didn't you?
I think I did.
I think you did leave him in the car. I think it was, you realized later that you had put him away, when we got to the airport. That room, you have this little table, you have these little chairs out on the deck, swinging chairs.
Hanging swinging chairs. Yeah.
That are you really can relax.
Oh, absolutely.
Just there.
Right.
100% absolutely. I can see why a family would want to potentially stay there for 10 days.
To be able to sit out there and watch the fireworks and watch the water pageant.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the electric water pageant.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah,
from your own little wading pool while you're eating noodles or
or
Dole Whip or whatever.
Thai coconut meatballs from Captain Cook's. I wish that there is a part of me that wishes that we would have gone ahead and asked them to almost tour a regular room just so we could share more about the other rooms at the resort with you rather than just the highest end room that they have.
Right, because now we this did two things by staying in this fantastically awesome room that I would not trade for anything.
No.
It did two things. One, it made it really hard to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
And two, okay, we'll say three things. Two, it made it hard for us to want to go out to do the rest of the things in the resort that we wanted to do. So we didn't get nearly as much done in the resort as what we were wanting. And 3 is going to make it so that we're going to have to go back.
Absolutely. 110%. Like we're going back and staying at the Polynesian. And unfortunately, it will likely be a much cheaper room.
Yeah.
But that's okay because I do still think that the property itself, the resort, the lobby, the pool, the restaurants, the, just like the atmosphere in general there is phenomenal.
It's so nice.
And it's honestly like, yeah, it's kind of sprawling. You've got quite a bit of space. I want to say left to right, but like I don't know how else to describe that. I mean, it's not a very deep resort.
No.
Right? So from where you walk in, like out of the parking lot or off the monorail, like into the resort and like to the beach is not very deep.
Right.
In comparison to some of the other ones.
Yeah.
But it's very long the other way.
Yeah, because I mean, you're going from Grand Floridian all the way down to the Ticket and Transportation Center.
That basically encompasses that whole space. And so, while it is kind of sprawling in that regard, 90% of the things that you want to get to are right there centralized.
Right.
I mean, you're right there. And so it is nice that if you do want to go and do something or, participate in something there at the resort, it's all very kind of condensed. I mean, I don't know how else to describe that.
Everything is right there by the Great Ceremonial House.
Yeah.
You got the main pools right there. Really nice pool bar right there. Really great theming around the pool with all the tiki torches and the great foliage and flowers and really nice, really pretty. And then all the restaurants are inside the Great Ceremonial House, so it's all just like there.
It just everything felt very accessible.
It did. Like
it didn't feel like you were. I don't know. There's been a couple other ones where we've stayed at where I feel like you kind of have to like bounce around to get to stuff, and I didn't feel like that. One thing I really liked inside the lobby, we're talking about that, is that the gift shop was actually split into 2 sections. And so you had one section that was upstairs that had more of your like, had your drink coolers and your snacks and like your toiletry stuff and like was more, it was more like amenities stuff versus like gifts and like merch and stuff like that. And then they had the whole other gift shop that was all the like clothes and your toys gift and
shop stuff. Yeah. Like, I wonder if that's going to change at all whenever the new DVC tower opens up over there.
Well, I bet there'll probably just be one over there.
Right. So
I doubt you'll lose having those in that space too, but I bet there'll probably be something over there as well.
Yeah. And just if all the DVC stuff's over there, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot of need to have like frozen pizzas and that kind of stuff over in
you'll still have all the like the amenities stuff though, like the meds and
absolutely.
You're still going to have a lot of that stuff because you still have, I mean, that's going to be the closest access for like the bungalows and DVC studios. Right. Like, you still have a lot of rooms that are going to be on that side of.
Right. You do.
Like you're basically like right there. Even if you're going to eat like at Ohana or something, like, or not get to eat at it, you still get to kind of experience and see.
You can still like go over there and peek in, and I mean, like all the restaurants are right there. I mean, you have to kind of go around a few corners and kind of look for things for like Captain Cook's if you're going from inside.
Yeah,
like it's real easy to find from the pool outside. It's like right there. Trader Sam's you have to look for,
which we didn't even go over to. At all. Like we didn't even make it over to that side at all. But again, our stay at the Polynesian was, I mean, we didn't get there until that afternoon, right? Which is fine, pretty normal for check-in. But like we had dinner. I was battling a migraine, so I needed to like chill for a little bit and take a nap before we went to dinner. We were trying to check out our room and like do all of that. And then we went to dinner over at the boardwalk. Right. Which we're not even going to get to touch on
tonight.
That at all. I've stayed at the boardwalk before, but it was 20 plus years ago.
And I've never stayed there.
And you've never stayed there. But that was the first time you've really gotten to like see
I've been inside. On the boardwalk before.
You've been on the outside,
right.
But not
I've never
inside.
been inside.
Yeah.
No.
And so we did dinner at Flying Fish. And then we hustled back
Right.
to make sure that we were there in time to see the fireworks.
Right. Which was kind of a like we were adjusting, like calling and adjusting reservation times for
Yeah.
our dinner so that we could try and make sure that we were able to get back and sit in our pool and watch fireworks.
Yeah.
Because how often are you going to get to do
Yeah.
that?
There was no other chance, and that was the only night of our stay that we were going to be able to potentially do that.
Right.
As far as regular,
right,
happily ever after.
Because the following night we had Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yeah.
And then the following morning was check out from there and over to our next resort.
Yeah. So it is definitely it's definitely an amazing stay. I will say I loved staying. I mean, I did. I love staying there. I 100% will stay at the Polynesian again. I still don't think it beats out my love of Wilderness as far as like if we ever had a DVC membership and it was our home resort.
Ooh.
I don't know, but I haven't stayed in just a regular DVC room at Poly. So
right, that's true.
That could change my mind.
Yeah.
I
like the amount of food choices at Poly better.
I do too. I like the amount of food choices at Poly better. I feel more secluded though at Wilderness.
Yeah, no, I agree. I can see that. Which Wilderness is where we stayed at after Poly this time.
I did like though being on a Magic Kingdom monorail resort.
Yeah,
that was really a nice. First.
Yeah, that was so easy, so convenient.
That was spectacular. I can't recommend that enough. Like
we didn't make it to Epcot from there, but I mean, I'd imagine that'd just have to be.
I don't know. And I think you brought this up before, but if you are a person who needs to go at the end of the night, leaving Magic Kingdom, and you need to go to Ticket and Transportation,
right,
to go to your car, that monorail that goes to Polynesian and Grand Floridian
and Contemporary
also stops at Ticket and Transportation.
Yeah. So
you can
that.
It is way less crowded.
Yeah.
Take that. Yes, you have to wait through a couple of stops. Totally worth it.
You don't have to wait through the crowd.
No, you don't have to wait through the crowd. And it's not all of the stops before you hit there. I think it's
it's Contemporary and then it's Ticket and Transportation Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were leaving going, oh man, look at all those people waiting for the monorail. Yeah. We're like, oh well, they probably all have to go to Ticket and Transportation. We didn't even realize it was stopping there until it did, and we saw people get off.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, they're smart.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We were like, that's how you do this. The monorail was super easy to be there. Boats were still pretty easy too. We did take a boat over from Magic Kingdom back over to Poly.
Yeah.
Which was super nice.
Yeah.
Much shorter trip than coming from Wilderness. Which is nice.
It is.
You do have to contend with the big ferries though then, which you don't have to do.
You did with Wilderness, because we had to wait forever for our boat to get there because it had to stop because the ferry was going by.
Oh, that's right.
So you do still have to contend with them. But nice thing about Poly is you can see if your boat's coming or going. So, I mean, it's right there. And I will also say, with Poly, the food that we did have, all the food that we did have really came from Captain Cook's, which is their quick service, and was good.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. I had Tonga toast for the first time, which was really good. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
It was delicious.
It's really good. You can also get that from Kona Cafe. It's just cheaper at Captain Cook's. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're just wanting to try it, for one person in your family, get it from Captain Cook's. You're not.
And we had, I had some Pan Asian noodles, and you had, what was it?
The Thai coconut meatballs.
Yeah.
Those were spectacular. The coconut rice.
That was really good.
Spot on.
Yeah.
I could have eaten that all day.
Yeah. It was all really good. And then, of course, we had to get Dole Whip from Pineapple. Pineapple and I.
Pineapple and I, we got Dole, and we got it in a cup because we didn't want it to melt, but we were trying to walk back to her room, and we're all dressed up. We'd just come back from dinner. We got Dole Whip before we went back. We had time to do that. And I was like, I 100% should have either stopped to eat this before we tried to walk back or have gotten like another cup. I don't, it was dripping everywhere. I'm trying
Right.
to walk in my dress, in my heels, and
Like we stopped and ate by the beach
yeah, I
because
literally
it
sat
wouldn't
on the
wouldn't have
curb.
made it any
I
further.
literally sat on the curb and ate it because all of the chairs were already full. And it was still another 30, 45 minutes
Yeah, something like
before
that.
the show was even going to start. I mean, the sun
Right.
wasn't even fully down yet, I don't
Yeah.
think.
No, they were all
And
taken.
but all of those spots were already taken. There was still standing room for
Mm-hmm.
people to
Absolutely.
come and hang out, but all the chairs were taken. But that was like some of the cutest moments that we saw were some little kids playing in the sand
Yeah.
and like running around and
Yeah.
just
Parents playing with them, having
yeah.
fun. Yeah. No, it
There's a
was.
couple of really nice swings on the beach too, which was
Mm-hmm.
nice, like where you can sit and
Mm-hmm.
just swing.
Yeah. No, it's. I think as we said, like I definitely want to go back
Mm-hmm.
there. I think we'll have to take Brooklyn next time because I don't think we'll make it out again without her,
Nope.
especially there.
Nope.
But that resort just screams her anyway, so I think she'd love it. I don't want to say I hope we get into a regular room because I mean, if they say, "Hey, you got bumped up again," I'd be like, "Oh man, this is just our place." Like
Yeah.
it's, but
We're moving in.
yeah, it's. Like I said, I feel like staying in the bungalow, like you don't want to waste that opportunity. So we didn't get to enjoy as much as the resort.
Yeah. Especially on 2 nights. And we just had
Right.
a jam-packed
We did.
day the next day
We
with
did.
we went ahead and did Magic Kingdom and we did photos and we did Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party and we met up with friends and
Yeah.
it was just a jam-packed day.
It really
So
was.
I will 100% say it again. Now, we have done an episode before last year on our thoughts on Wilderness.
Right.
And it is still, I love Wilderness.
It is.
I love that resort. I love the way that it feels.
That lobby is second to none.
The lobby is incredible. I already posted about this on our, but like one of the joys of staying in a deluxe resort is that you sometimes get to have.
That's not just deluxe.
It's not just deluxe, but let's be real, it happens more often in the deluxe resorts than most of them. Is that you have a higher chance of getting character interactions.
Mm-hmm.
And now typically it's like somewhere in the Fab Five, or like usually Goofy, Donald, Pluto is a big set. You might have one of them or a couple of them. And we walked into Wilderness on our split stay day, like our check-in day, and in walks, like we walked in from one way from where the bus entrance, like where you come up the ramp from the bus station, and then in the front doors walk Goofy, Pluto, and Donald.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just there to, the cast members were like, hey, they're just here to hang out and meet people, and there's no line, and it's just like it was so great.
I was recording on the way in, and I was like, oh my gosh, and then I stopped recording, so I don't know.
It was just like, it was so fun. I mean, Donald went and watched cartoons for a minute over in the little kid corner, and he was mad. Himself. He was mad because he was not on the TV.
Yeah.
So, but it was just super cute to see the kids just like walk in, from their room and like from that hallway and like just turn the corner into the lobby. Right. And here are characters. I mean, it's just, there's something so picturesque about the way that happens, like, and how natural that feels in there, that I don't know, it's magical.
Right. And we stayed in Copper Creek over here. Like we rented those DVC points again. Now when we're getting checked in, like like I had already requested before, to try and get as high as possible. Mm-hmm. So maybe if we did have a fireworks view, like we could see something. And she asked us again, and like, can you request? Like, let me see what I can do. I'm like, possible. Yeah. And I think, because we got to talking about football and how she's a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, and
I think we ticked her off.
I don't think she liked it very much because she did the exact opposite and put us on the first floor as far away from the lobby as you could possibly get, with a view of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And a squirrel.
Yeah. It was definitely not. I mean, like, here's the thing. As far as like a room and amenities and all that, it was totally
It's
fine.
fine.
It was totally fine. It was comfortable, it was clean, it had all the things that we needed,
Right.
like all of that stuff, totally fine.
But we just stayed in the
We just stayed in
bungalow.
the bungalows. Like, how do you even begin to compare that and have some, like, yeah, that was very, very difficult.
Right. And it's like Copper Creek got done not that long ago, but it's been long enough now to where you can start to see some wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
Like the little coffee table we had definitely had like some wear and tear. The couch it's
Mm-hmm.
also a pull out, had some wear and tear on it.
Yeah.
But still, nice room,
Yeah.
beautiful room.
No, and by that point, especially by like the second night there, we were exhausted.
Right.
And so then it's just like you just fall into bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter at that point. I think if you want to hear more about what our thoughts are on wilderness
Mm-hmm.
and on, like, overall as a resort and what wilderness has to offer, go back about almost a year.
Yeah. I think it's like episode 48.
Something like that, we gave our rundown of wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to rehash it right now just
Right.
because it is a lot,
mm-hmm.
but it's still, man, I mean,
it's very peaceful there.
It's so peaceful. I'll never get over how I walk outside of there and you just feel like you're at a mountain resort rather than,
you do. It helps
in
that it's
Florida.
on the lake and you don't see.
Yeah. You're not really seeing the other stuff the way that you do like at Poly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I am going to dream about that room for a long time.
Yeah. No, that's something that will be in our Disney core memories forever.
Yeah. The kids were very upset with us.
Happy. They thought we did it on purpose.
Which we did not. We had nothing to do with, like...
We didn't ask for anything. We didn't ask to be upgraded. The only thing I asked for was a room on the highest level possible.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, in Poly, it's like, what, the third story? Fourth story? Like, it's not that high.
No. The kids were begging us that first night when we first, like, to red eye them out that night so that they could stay one night in the bungalow with us. And I was like, no, like, how are you, like...
Yeah, no, they were trying.
We're like, how are you going to even get from the airport to, like...
Yeah, from here to the airport, and then from the airport to Poly, and it would have been a nightmare.
Oh no, it would have been very, very expensive too.
Yeah.
But like we weren't doing that. But I mean, it was, yeah. I wish we could have. We did FaceTime them and let them Brooklyn watch the fireworks with us, and Jackson was there. He had the option. He watched a little bit, but he
was impressed with the room and he was happy for us, but at the same time he wished he was there jealous on that one.
I just don't like, for those people who don't believe in how great a Disney experience can be, or if you've got those naysayers in your life who are like, it's just a hotel, it's just a whatever. Yeah, to some degree it is.
Yeah.
Like, and I get that. But at the same time, when you can have those moments where you have, like, memories that you're going to remember forever about that stay, why would you not want to do that and have that opportunity versus staying at Hyatt down the street? Like,
the Hyatt down the street, you don't got a naked tiki guy in the lobby. or the core smells.
Oh, the Poly, oh man, that does smell really good.
It does. It's really good.
It still doesn't beat out Destino for me, Green Destino Tower, but that was pretty spectacular.
Which that needs another stay here at some point.
Yeah, for sure. We haven't been out there in
a bit.
Hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's been almost, what, 3 years?
Yeah. It's definitely been a bit. Anything else you want to add in there with wilderness?
No, I'd still like to at some point do like I know it's ridiculously expensive, but I'd like to do the restaurant there, the
Artist
Artist
Point.
Point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to
No.
meet Snow White and the
Yeah.
Seven
Nope.
Dwarfs.
That's good thing dining. Our friend Karik did it again, and
Mm-hmm.
it's his second time doing it. He loves it. Says the food's good. Great, great interaction with the characters. So
Oh, that 100% though. I am evil queening it up and down. Like that's happening.
yeah. Okay.
That's my Disney bound if we ever get to do that.
All right.
100%.
All right. Well, guess
Be
dress
prepared.
as Dopey or
No, you can be the you can be the what's the guy the
the prince.
not the prince. Well, I mean, you can be the prince if you want. Like the hunter, like the
Oh,
the
huntsman.
is it the huntsman? Is that what is?
No.
That's in like the live action one. They call
Yeah.
him Snow
Yeah.
White and the Huntsman.
Whatever.
But like, y'all know who I'm talking about.
I don't know. I'd figure it out. I think
You
we
be
got
Doc
some time.
Grumpy.
Hey. Hey. All right. So, if you have any questions on, for some reason you have questions on the bungalow, like fire away. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Salute to the Ears. And I think that's probably a good place to tell you to go out and find your joy.
And have a magical week.